stops us in our tracks. Bravely we prove in our striving, trudging together each day. Where there's a will, there's a way.
The views and opinions expressed on Trudging Together are solely those of the host, co-host, and our guests. They do not necessarily reflect the views of any organization, fellowship, or other entity, and definitely not your boss, your neighbor, or that one guy in your home group. The content of this program is not intended to replace medical, psychological, or professional advice. If you're looking for that, please seek guidance from qualified professionals who spent way too many years in school. What you'll hear here is based on lived experience, recovery journeys, and the occasional bad coffee-fueled joke. Trudging Together is not affiliated with any 12-step fellowship. We are simply people sharing our stories and walking this path together, one day at a time. Thank you for joining us, and remember, recovery is serious business, but that doesn't mean we can't laugh along the way.
Trudging Thursdays. This is the way. Told somebody I'd wear my Grogu shirt, but it wasn't supposed to be today. It was supposed to be this next Monday. I remembered it once I hit the go live button. It was a little too late. So, yeah. So when I'm done, I'll go change the shirt, save it for Monday. So, good morning. Good morning, Amber. Good morning, Leisure. Yeah. Another day. Another day to do stuff, to be a good person. Stuff. When I don't have really anything to say, just stuff shows up. My hair is starting to grow. It is growing. It's getting there. Nobody said anything yet. It's hard to tell. It's actually longer than it looks. It's curly. My hair is really curly. So, growing it out so I look like a normal human being. I think the shaved head kind of scares some people off. I'm going to tell you right now, I really enjoy that. You know, the thing is, I was picked on for so long. I loved it when I turned like 15, 16, and I'd walk through the mall and everybody would just part ways as I was walking through. So I felt like I was parting the Red Sea. I felt like I had so much control. People walking around me, avoiding me, and me thinking, yeah, I'm dangerous. When real. Oh. Well, of course you're okay with it, Leisure. You still sporting that mohawk. That might not be a bad idea. My hair's too curly, though. I can't really do much. The thing is when it's longer, once it's out of place, like people want to come up and touch your hair. Well, if you do that to somebody with curly hair, they got to do the whole thing over with because it just goes frizzy. In fact, when I was younger, what I used to do, this is why people, and it's a running joke that I'm black, but I sported an afro for years, for about 7 years. Yeah. Yeah. Oh, big too. Had a big old fro. I've shown pictures of it. I'll show it again one day. We'll do it again one day. Yeah. I thought I was the shit. Leisure says, I'm okay with my hair scaring people away. Yeah, it keeps a lot of people at bay. Oh, they're punk. They're punk. Or, I know I get judged. Oh, skinhead. Yeah, I'm like the furthest thing. Then you hear me talk, you're like, oh, never mind. What's the saying? Don't judge a book by its cover. I may look mean, and I'm sitting here holding a kitty cat coffee cup. Meow. Oh, I'm so mean. All right. Oh. Let's let's try this. I'm gonna try something. I don't know if I'm gonna get anything about it around it, but let's see. Let's try it. Give me some jokes that are based around acceptance. Why not? Let's give it a try. See if we. Yeah. Nah. 13 hilarious acceptance jokes. All right, we're gonna. This joke may contain profanity. I'm over 18. If it's too bad, I may not. I may not. Well, it's okay. No, I'm not willing to do any of these. So we're gonna go back to our usual stuff. Um, I do have my stuff marked not safe for children, but that's because I don't want kids to go running along being on, their YouTube, their children's YouTube. Mine comes up, you know. But I have a lot of listeners who are listening in their car and things like that, and their kids can hear. So I stay away from. I swear a lot and stuff, but here, okay. But all right, okay. So we do the best that we can, right? We're gonna go to the best dad jokes under pioneering women. That in and of itself is an oxymoron. Dad jokes from pioneering women. Let's go for corny dad jokes today. All right, let's do this. You know what time it is? Time for Dion's Daily Funnies. Even though he's funny all the time, everybody funny. Now you funny too. If you can name the song, I will give you a round of applause. Everybody funny. Now you funny too. All right. What's 90 degrees but covered? What's 90 degrees but covered with ice? The North and South Poles. I don't think I can get that one. What happened when the blue ship and the red ship collided? Their crews were marooned. What's the difference between the bird flu and the swine flu? One requires treatment and the other an ointment. Nice, actually. That was pretty good. Good job, pioneering women. What do you call a line of men waiting to get haircuts? A barbecue. All right, we're gonna do one more, and then we're gonna get to radical acceptance here. Why do seagulls fly over the sea? If they flew over the bay, they would be bagels. Yeah. Yeah. Welcome to the Daily Trudge. My name is Dion. I'm a dude in Colorado just trying to make a difference. I'm a cog in the machine, living in the matrix just like you. If you're here, please say hello, especially if your name is Neo. All right. Are you searching for Neo? Please say hello. All right. Well, hopefully we can break out of the matrix a little bit today. Right. But what really is radical acceptance, right? Because we have acceptance, but you're like, Dion, what's up with the radical? Why does it need to be so radical? Now, first off, radical acceptance doesn't mean you approve of what's happening. It means you stop fighting reality long enough to actually heal, right? But what we're going to do is we're going to look up the word radical. So, first thing we're going to do, definition of radical. Turn it down because we don't need to hear her. Relating to or affecting a fundamental nature of something, far reaching or thorough. We use thorough in the program a lot. So we could even say thorough acceptance. It's an adjective, it is describing the type of acceptance that we are utilizing. Hi, Michelle. Good to see you. I hope you're feeling better. Um, Advocating or based on thorough or complete political or social change. We are advocates, are we not? So, advocating acceptance. Hmm. Kind of cool how it can be malleable like that. A person who advocates through social reform. What is radical acceptance in simple words? Let's go for that. Very different from the usual or traditional. Aha. Now, AA certainly is not traditional. I mean, we have our traditions, but it isn't in the sense the usual. We we're kind of unusual because we think differently. I think a few people in my grassroots figured that out last night. They're like, I think differently. Huh. Why why is this? Why is it when I'm happy I want to drink the most? Hmm. Why could that be? All right. And I got to go to the big book on this one. At first, I'm going to apologize to Amber. This is her least favorite topic. But it's been a while since I did it. So I'm like, I got to cover it. Actually, she does it. It's just a running joke. So don't worry about it. All right. We're going to accept a lot of things in our lives. Acceptance is the key that will set you free. Right? It's a great line. I heard it back in the 80s. Acceptance is the key that'll set you free. My mom and my stepdad used to work at Arapahoe House Detox over off Bannock Street next to the old Cinderella City. All right. And I was in that area quite often, so I'd stop by, usually to mooch money off my mother. I said I was stopping by to say hi, but I was there for money. Um, other kids didn't really stop by. My older brother would stop by there all the time too. In fact, one time he stopped by and he was sitting in the intake chair waiting for mom, and somebody came in and did an intake on him, and he did the whole thing with them. It was actually quite funny. I think that's hilarious. All right. But they had this stray cat. See, my stepdad, he's one of those guys where he'll walk down the street and he's like Dr. Frickin' Doolittle. All these animals will just come out of nowhere. You know, Animals that don't even belong in that area will appear. He'll be walking down the street and Greeley and a polar bear will pop up and be like, "Hey, Roger." I'm not kidding, man. So he attracted this stray cat, right? He's just one of those people. That's how you know he's a really good guy because animals are like, "Oh, you guy's good. He's a good guy." Right? So they end up with a stray cat. They bring in a stray cat. And what they did is they named the cat Acceptance. And it was for the staff. Okay. Now, why would the staff need have you ever worked detox? It's it's a different world. Just go hang out at a detox for yeah, it's about overcoming one problem after another. It's racked with dilemmas. People are hurting, they're detoxing, they don't know what's going on. A lot of anger, a lot of fear. So at detox, you gotta have laughter or it kills you, man. Right? So let's say something was going on and you needed to find acceptance and I love this because what it did is it took acceptance and it put action into it. If you were disrupted that day, maybe some anger, and you needed to find some acceptance, you had to go find the cat. You literally had to go find some acceptance because they named the cat Acceptance. That was the cat's name. So if you were disturbed, you had to go find some acceptance. And it's a great story because what it does is it puts action into acceptance. Acceptance, in and of itself, is great to utilize in the moment for anger, things like that. But for an overall acceptance, you know what we're really going after here? Okay. It's going to lead to something weird, perfection. I love it. Not your perfection, but understanding that God's world is perfect the way that it is. That's what we're going after. Because when I do that, I don't fight. I don't feel the need to fight. Okay? So I'm going to read out a big book. Acceptance was the answer. Page 417 in the fourth edition. If you have the third edition, it'll be page 420. All right. So a lot of people like to start with and acceptance is the answer to all my problems. I like to go back a little bit. You know me. Yeah, you know with me. Leisure says that's a really cool story. Thank you, Leisure. I appreciate it. I got a lot of cool stories. Yeah. Um, yeah. Sorry, I just have well, it's not another idea. I'm thinking about writing a book from 14 to 18. Um, so anyway. At last, acceptance proved to be the key to my drinking problem. After I'd been around AA for 7 months, tapering off alcohol and pills, not finding the program working very well, I was finally able to say, now, why wasn't the program working very well? Well, they were still on alcohol and pills. Clearly they had a pill popping problem too. Pill popping problem. There's another PPP. Pill. That'd be a great song. Pill popping problem. Now I can't even do it. Be a great song as long as I'm not singing it. Why? So why wasn't it working very well? Because they were still on the hooch. Can't have acceptance when I cannot find acceptance when I'm still drinking. I don't get to access any of this stuff when I'm drinking. I don't know why. It just it's like I just revert to an entirely different person. So, all right. Okay, God. It is true. I, of all people, I love this part because it's got so much ego in it. I, of all people, I guess, I can even see them rolling their eyes while saying this. Okay, gosh, like a child beaten into submission because that's what we are. I, of all people, strange as it may seem, and even though I didn't give my permission, really, really am an alcoholic of sorts, and it's all right with me. And I like this. And even though I didn't give my permission, sometimes I wonder on that, though. A little off topic here. Sometimes did we might have picked, we may have decided to have a more arduous life to come back down and so Leisure says you can write a book through Kindle. That's how I wrote mine. That's what I was planning on. Yeah, it's gonna be nice, simple, straightforward. It's going to talk about what I went through. Um, yeah. Um, I've been thinking about it for a long time, but the thought process was, well, I may hurt other people by writing this. I've gotten over that. I got to speak my truth. Okay. Now, there's nothing on my page or anywhere else that will lead you back to these people. See, I'll protect them. Gonna change the names and do that. Not only that, but they weren't there at the group homes and stuff, so it's not like it's gonna affect my family. Right. But we got to think of everybody. Anyway, doesn't matter. All right. And it's all right with me. Here's the best part. Now, what am I going to do about it? When I stopped living in the problem and began living in the answer, the problem went away. From that moment on, I have not had a single compulsion to drink. So, in order for the obsession to be lifted, there's a few things that need to happen. First of all, you have to be aware of your alcoholism. Then you have to accept it for all of its ramifications. Okay. Then you must put action into it. What is the action? Asking God to keep you sober that day, going to a meeting. In the beginning, that's what that is. Okay. Keeping your intentions straight, things like that. Right? So it's going to require some action. God doesn't just, I mean, he needs to know you're kind of serious, that you have no lurking notions. But if you have a lurking notion, your obsession is not going to be completely removed. You're going to hide. You're going to be that little boy whistling in the dark. And a lurking notion is something conditional. It means if this happens, I can go ahead and drink. No, we got to be the no matter what club. I'm not going to drink no matter what. So, and they're making this sound like it's kind of easy, but acceptance, it's not easy. That's why I put that radical in front of it. Okay? And acceptance is the answer to all my problems today. Now, why would they say that? That's a pretty bold statement. Now, that doesn't mean acceptance is the answer to all your problems today, but it is the answer to all your problems. Okay? If you're willing to put in the work after the acceptance. That's been my experience. Without action, the acceptance is just a decision. Right? And I have to have skin in the game. I've got to make more than a decision. When I am disturbed, it is because I find some person, place, thing, or situation, some fact in my life unacceptable to me. And I can find no serenity until I accept that person, place, thing, or situation as being exactly the way it is supposed to be at this moment. And here's the big one: nothing, absolutely nothing happens in God's world by mistake. God's world by mistake. Don't forget that, human will. Do you think the person that went out of your life, that was a mistake? You think your problems are mistakes? Because they're not. They're opportunities for learning, for becoming better. Not all of them are going to feel that way in the beginning. All right. So what do? That we utilize awareness, acceptance, and then we put action into it. It's exactly what we do. You do it all day long. If you've been in the program for any amount of time, you do it all day long. You don't realize it. It's one of those Karate Kid things. Okay. But acceptance, like everything else in the program, needs to be practiced, or its application means nothing. It's just a good thought. Well, you're in my thoughts and prayers. Well, okay. Thanks. See, thoughts and prayers require no action. Is there something you need? I know you're going through that. We got to do more than thoughts and prayers. We got to put action. Go stop by. Maybe there's a death in the family. We all know what happens then. Then you bring them some food. Bring them stuff to eat, things to drink. They may not, but that's not the point. Instead, give your time. You're valuable. Oh, I'm so busy. I'm so busy. You're not. You know what, Pete? You know what it means? I'm so important. You know how busy I am? Because I'm important. Sure, you may be busy, but did you ever consider priorities? When you tell somebody how busy you are, do you know what you're telling them? You are not a priority. That's exactly what you're saying to them. Leisure says, if I get on my knees and pray, is that action? No, not really. He LOL'd it. He knew he already knew that. It's an action, the fact that you got on your knees. I don't get on my knees and pray. God doesn't require me of it. He doesn't he's never yeah. Now if God comes to me and like if I go to church and that's what people are doing, I'll follow suit. Yeah. Yeah. Now is going to church and running the sound an action? Yeah, we're partway there. Participation probably needs to be required a little bit. Yeah. Right? Just going to a meeting and listening? No, not really action. But if you claim your seat, my name's Dion, I'm an alcoholic. I don't have anything to say today, but I want to claim my seat and let you know I'm not going to drink today. I would consider that action, right? Because you participated in the group also. Okay. We always got to take um that one more step. Amber, yeah, come to me, God. So nothing, absolutely nothing happens in God's world by mistake. Until I could accept my alcoholism, I could not stay sober. See, I was aware of my alcoholism since I was 14, 13, 14, right? I was aware of it then. And it's kind of weird because my grandson's 13 and I look at him, I'm like, what's it? It confounds me because his life is entirely different. He doesn't he hasn't had to go through the tough life, and I appreciate it. I really do. Um, his his biological father is an alcoholic, right? Um, his father who because she she married another guy, and he's really cool. He treats him like his son, so I don't give him. I've never given him any flack at all, right? Because he didn't consider him a stepson or a bonus son. He is just his son, and I appreciate that about him. I really do. Right, but it's weird to look back, right? 13, 14. So I was aware of my alcoholism, but I wasn't willing to accept it in all of its consequences. Okay, with all of its consequences. That's a very important part. I cannot stay sober unless I accept life completely on life's terms. I cannot be happy. I need not concentrate so much on what needs to be changed in the world as what needs to be changed in me and in my attitudes. Yeah, I gotta say, I kind of need to hear that today. I needed a not that I'm out of my lane, but it's always a good reminder to me that I can't save the world. That it's okay to be one person in the whole. Yeah. It reminds me that I probably shouldn't get too big for my britches. All right. So, so if we have resistance, okay, resistance equals suffering. Acceptance equals clarity. Okay, intuition for us, right? You'll have that intuitive thought, and you will get excited that a problem has come along. How about this one? The first time you get pulled over and you're getting a ticket, but you're legal. You're actually going to walk out of it smiling. You know you got a ticket and everything. They may not even give you a ticket. We alcoholics tend to get out of things, right? Yeah. It's a really good example. I remember the first time I got pulled over and I was legal. I'm like, okay, no, everything's okay. Wait a minute. I don't have anything to worry about. There's no second cop car showing up. Keep waiting for that second cop car. It never showed up. It didn't need to. I didn't have a warrant out for my arrest. I had insurance. My driver's license was up to date. My tags were up to date. Yeah. Wow. It's cool stuff. Now I know a lot of people probably didn't go through that. Maybe you had the money. I drove around. I either didn't have a car or a driver's license, or I was driving illegally most of my adult life. I actually have a perfect driving record. I have all my points. I have nope. All right. So what is radical acceptance and what is not? A spiritual surrender, seeing reality without denial, dropping the fight with what you cannot change. You know, that's all good and stuff, but I think I'm going to go a different route. Chat GPT is kind of boring today. We're going to go to another spot in the big book. We're going to go to another story. Nope, not acceptance was the answer. I don't know the page, so I don't think it's there it is. All right, page 275 for anybody that would like to follow along. I'm going to give everybody a chance to go find that page if they want to follow along. This comes out of a story called The Keys to the Kingdom. This is out of all the stories, this is my favorite part. Right? But what it's going to do is it's going to describe what acceptance brings you. And it's going to give you a variation of things. Okay. But even though it doesn't sound like it, this is about acceptance. The thing that's cool about AA is it's one big puzzle where all the pieces just fit exactly where they're supposed to go. You get to decide what the puzzle looks like. You get to make that decision. Okay. So that means that when we have one topic, it can usually fit with another, one way or another. If not, I'm going to force that square peg into the round hole because I'm defiant and selfish. All right, 275. AA is not a plan for recovery that can be finished and done with. Oh, there is no advanced AAA. There is no AA 102. Doesn't exist. What it is a way of life. Kind of like people that are Buddha. It is a way of life, right? Is a way of life, and the challenge contained in its principles is great enough to keep any human being striving for as long as he lives. This is true. I know this book. I know it very well. And I learn stuff all the time. Right? And it's because of the simple principles that have been given to me that I can see it. We cannot outgrow this plan. No. You're going to come to a point where you don't want to. You're not going to want to. You don't want to outgrow the plan. When we first get here, we want to graduate. We want to do it now because of delayed gratification we know nothing of. But now that we can sit calmly in the chaos, this right here is something that works. As arrested alcoholics, we must have a program for living that allows for limitless expansion. Well, there's only one thing for limitless expansion, that is perfection. Okay. That's the way I see it. For you, it might be different. That's okay. As long as we're going for that limitless expansion. I have a finite mind, and I doubt I've even touched the tip of the iceberg. And I've done a lot of work. A lot of self-seeking, a lot of digging, looking for the truth, doing this, doing that. Yeah. Keeping one foot in front of the other is essential for maintaining our arrestment. That goes back to resting on our laurels. We cannot take today we can't celebrate yesterday's success today. Got to have new ones today. It doesn't take much to get those successes, though. Okay. Others may idle in a retrogressive groove without too much danger, but retrogression can spell death for us. Now, in this case, retrogression isn't necessarily going backwards. Okay. It means you're in the same spot. Right? Have you ever gotten your car stuck in the snow, and the more you pressed on the gas pedal, the more stuck you got? You didn't try and get out of the car. You gotta try and give it some traction, throw some sand under there. Maybe you need to dig out the snow a little bit, right? Or I don't know, call for help. You're stuck, so you call for help. Well, we do this in spiritual and emotional matters also. Okay. However, this isn't as rough as it sounds, as we do become grateful for the necessity that makes us toe the line. You'll be grateful for your problems because the problems you have don't compare to the problems you used to have. Or a big problem might come up, but now you have the tools for it. And you'll be like, oh, I know how to fix that. And you'll get excited. You'll be excited about a problem because you know what to do because you have a solution. Hmm. That would be 12th stepping in its finest form. All right. And we find that we are compensated for the consistent effort by the countless dividends we receive. Everything you do has a dividend. We also call these consequences. Same thing. But dividends sound more nice, where consequences are all bad. All right. So we utilize dividends here. It's just another word to make you feel good about yourself. But it's true. I have countless dividends, and they come in spiritual, emotional forms. All right. There we are to right. Maybe I go to a 12th step call, or maybe I chaired a meeting and I feel elated. I feel great. I have a lot of gratitude. Right. It's gonna come up again. Well, isn't gratitude a feeling? And isn't that feeling a fact? Isn't it a fact of matter that you chaired the meeting and the result was elation? Yeah, it is. Now, what are you going to do about it? Accept that feeling and then go double down on God. Yeah, that's the answer. A complete change takes place in our approach to life where we used to run from responsibility. We find ourselves accepting it with gratitude that we can successfully shoulder it. Instead of wanting to escape some perplexing problem, we experience the thrill of challenge and the opportunity it affords for another application of AA techniques, and we find ourselves tackling it with surprising vigor. Right? And they're just reconfirming that your problems are not problems, so you decide that they're a problem. Before that, they're an opportunity. Right? The last 15 years of my life have been rich and meaningful. I've had my share of problems, heartaches, and disappointments because that is life. But I also have known a great deal of joy and peace that is a handmaiden of an inner freedom. I have a wealth of friends, and with my AA friends, an unusual quality of fellowship. For to these people, I am truly related. See, I talked about family earlier, but if you want to meet my real family, okay, then you can either come here or you can go to the grassroots 5 p.m. meeting and you'll meet my family. Now that does not include my children and my grandchildren. They are part of the family. That's my true family. It's where I belong. It's where I fit in. I'm not knocking biological family, but I'm a lot closer to the people in AA than any person in my family. It's not even close. All right. That's okay. It's all right. First, through mutual pain and despair, and later through mutual objectives and newfound faith and hope. And as the years go by, working together, sharing our experiences with one another, and also sharing a mutual trust, understanding, and love without strings, without obligations, we acquire relationships that are unique and priceless. I don't think I could put it any better. My relationships are that way. They are unique and priceless. It's the best way to describe it. It's like trying to describe my higher power. I don't know. This is as close as I can get to it. Otherwise, it's just dividends. So I enjoy the feelings, is what I do. There's no more aloneness with that awful ache so deep in the heart of every alcoholic that nothing before could ever reach. That ache is gone and never need return again. Now, sometimes I still do feel lonely, but it isn't that gut wrenching pain that makes me double over and puts me on the ground and takes me out. Nope. No. Because then that's usually about the time that God shows up. Says, "You're not alone. I'm right here, my son. I'm right here." And he's always been there. Always been there for me. Even when I didn't ask. How do I know? Because I should be dead. God had much different plans for me than what I thought. I didn't know that one day I'd be sitting here, doing this day after day, helping other people out, hoping I'm doing it the right way. I'm pretty sure that I am. God continues to provide for this so I can continue doing it. I don't question that. I say, "Thank you, God." And then I go do the daily trudge. I don't need to question it. I don't need to know why or how. Kind of nice. Freedom. What is that? It's radical acceptance that life is the way that it is. Now, what am I going to do about it? What are you going to do? Are you going to go out and be a dick to people, or are you going to make the world a better place? Because the only valid, real question ever, 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 ever is, am I making the world a better place? It's the only one that matters. Now, there is a sense of belonging, of being wanted, needed, and loved. Wanted. I don't like when people need me. I like it when they want me. Because they treat me differently. When people just need me, there isn't much reciprocation. But when they want me in their life, there tends to be that reciprocation. Okay. But, we do unconditional love. I don't do just unconditional love. I utilize unconditional love, so I will help you even if I don't like you. Yes. I utilize unconditional love for my freedom. In a return for the bottle and hangover, we have been given the keys to the kingdom. That's right. God gave you the keys to the kingdom. Huh? Yes, you hopeless, helpless, chronic alcoholic who deserves no love. See, God thought differently. Thought differently. All right. Thank you, everybody, for being here. I love you. You know I do. Peace out. And keep on trudging.